Hello and welcome to Cockatoos with Attitude. Bob, what are you doing? Me? Hey, Bob. Mander. And we seem to have a congregation at that end. I don't know what's going on down there. A meeting of some kind.
Interesting.
We've all decided to be on the other side of the aviary. Except for Mander and Bob. Bob. Here, we'll get
We
that out of
have
your way, Bob.
special guest Babaloo Bob today with us.
Yeah, KK's busy nesting. He'll want out later, but he won't come out right now. So Bob's more than willing to come out, aren't you, Bob? He does okay as long as KK isn't out here. I think he might do all right with KK soon. KK is not sitting on me as much. He's busy doing other things. Playing. What are you doing, Bob? Bob.
He was such a good boy yesterday.
Yeah, he's been a good boy lately. You have to put him in situations where he remains that way. If you put KK out here, he isn't quite so likely to be a good boy. Or if Pippa was out here, of course, Pippa would be the main disruptor. He has a tendency to just wanting to get into a fight. She should have been in a professional boxer, I think. Although I know she doesn't have to be that way. She wasn't that way in the beginning, so we're still working on it. And obviously, the work I've done with Bob has come to fruition because he tends to behave out here. Cecil, what are you doing? Sea salt.
Well,
Little bird.
we certainly have a happy chatter that our Cecil is at because Lisa is here with us. Lisa Banerjee, hello and welcome. Then we have Tiki Tiki with us. And Falkenser is here, so hello to you. And Calvin Thurston joined us. He's especially happy about having Bob outside today. And then Jam and Jamie also came in. So hello and welcome, everybody.
Hi, guys. Hello. Lucy's, if you see Lucy over here going after Cecil to get preened, she's got a new buddy, Mango. She just...
Yeah, that's the friendship. I wouldn't have done any bad on it, but it was like Mango came in, looked for somebody to preen. Lucy said, yeah, come on, go on. And since then, Lucy is been preened by Mango.
Hold on a second, guys. Stop it. I have not put on my blocker so a phone call could get through. We don't want that.
Nope.
There we go. Gotta block those phone calls.
So Boink the Boss Key joined us. So hello and welcome.
Hello. Now we're going to talk about choice and basically how training has evolved with animals in general, but specifically with parrots. Doing over there, little girl? Hmm?
Mm.
Where's your
I
buddy?
think you entertain Calvin just by the thought how you're handling your phone with your thick gloves.
Oh, it's not too cold out here today. Working out seems to make it my Raynaud's disease considerably better. So my
Mm.
hands don't usually start freezing until the latter part of the day.
Are all three Moluccans back there?
No, Amanda's over here.
Oh, Manda, okay. So Jasmine and Sugar
Yep,
having a secret auntie meeting.
probably discussing Mango the
Mango.
Magpie.
Yeah,
Mango.
because it did not take 1 minute until Mango and Jasmine were together in the aviary when Mango started heavily flirting on Jasmine. And the thing is, usually we expected Jasmine to be happy that somebody wants to preen her, but obviously cockatoos see a difference between friendly and romantic preening, and she was like, no preening from you.
Yep.
Nah, poor Mango was disappointed.
What are you doing up there, big boy? Someone's demanding a little petting here. Actually, it's the preenie he wants, but he likes to be preened, don't you? Yeah, I found your ear. I know. Touch their ears and their beak opens and they yawn. Bob. Net. Netty bird. Yeah, in the old days when you'll still hear people say this, they I gave my dog the command, those kind of people belong back in the Middle Ages. That's the kind of training that belongs back in the Middle Ages because you don't want to command a bird to do something. I mean, it's not like they're working for Walmart or something, um, where you have to do what you're told or you don't get paid. Well, these guys want to be paid on like instantly, so they want to make a good choice for themselves and get paid for it. So, right, Meander. So, with the development of behaviorism, we've learned that the best way to train an animal or even people doesn't matter. We're animals too. We must not forget. Um, the best way to train is to encourage uh, the the animal that we use the word operant because they're the ones doing the operation. They're the ones functioning as the agent. Um, we give them options. You can choose between A, B, and C. Some parents will do that with kids going down the aisle in the grocery store. I think it's horrible that they put toys in a grocery store, so that mothers are forced to deal with, or fathers, whoever happens to be taking with the kids going, they want to go down the toy aisle. Um, but if they're given options, then they don't feel like, uh, they're being forced to do something. And nobody really wants to be forced to do something. So Skinner started this, B.F. Skinner with the work he did with well, for one thing, he did work with chickens, but a lot rats, chickens, a lot of different things. But the idea was that to condition an animal to do something based on a reward. So he was able to condition animals to do a lot of different things based on pressing a lever, right? You press the lever and the lever gives you something. After a while, you start pressing the lever. He was able to modify that so that they would learn that they could only press it so many times in an hour. I mean, animals were smart enough to figure that out. So there's a lot of research that went in there. But as it developed over time, it started to be used for autistic children. Speaking of autistic children, how you doing, Bob? Um, and with them especially, you can't command them to do something. They have certain set of expectations, and if they're not met, then they have behaviors that come out that you don't want. So, and these guys are functionally autistic. They weren't born that, weren't hatched that way. It's because of the way that they are merchandised in the world. They won't raise their own young if they're in a small cage. They won't do it, so they have to put the eggs in an incubator. So they really don't know what they are or how to function in the world. So what we give them is good choices, right? You can choose to do, A or B. Uh, Maybe they're of equal interest to a bird, but you want them to choose B. Like, don't chew the chair, chew the box that I gave you, or the wood that I have here. If you chew the wood, then you get a little treat, right? The reward. Sometimes it can be petting. Sometimes it can be a lot of different things. A bird may not always go for the food, right? But you give them a reward that they see, and they start to pair that reward with the behavior. So when they're thinking about chewing the table, they chew the other object you offered because that's where the reward is. And eventually, just your saying good bird is enough reward. You go from a physical reinforcer to a social reinforcer, basically. They're smart. They like being told they're good birds. Bob will usually bounce his head up and down. See if I can get him to do it now. I doubt it. He's kind of busy. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. God, Bob. Bob's a good bird. Oh, I'm pointing the camera at him, so he's like, I don't like the camera. But when I first got him, he would say it like, Bob's a good bird, like it was a question. And now he'll shake his head up and down and say, Bob is a good bird. Right, Bob? Bob. Bob. Yeah, he doesn't like the phone pointed at him. So just saying that to him in most situations when he's done something that I want him to repeat will be enough for him to start repeating it. And if he's doing something I prefer he doesn't do, the best bet is not to tell him no, unless it's something right now that has to be stopped. But I mean, if he's trying to, do something where he's going to hurt himself, then you want to stop it now. But if it's something you're just trying to train him out of, let's say he's one of the things he tends to do is to shake his water bottle and start shaking the water out of it. It'll take him all day to empty his water bottle that way, but he will do it. But I give him an alternative. I put another toy in there with a lot of wood and things dangling on it, and then he gets interested in that. And he would rather have that than to beat on his water bottle. Now the question who is training who, and the truth is we're training each other. The alternative is definitely more interesting to him, but at the same time, if he's beating on his water bottle, it's a way of saying, "Why don't you give me something else to do?" So he's training me too. You have to get used to the idea that you're going to get trained because they're going to train you. And if you're not perceptive, you could find yourself being trained in ways you don't want to. So where you start to get upset, or some people, any of us can go a little bit nuts and start yelling and screaming if you don't have the tools to know better, right? You have your limits. We all do. It's like people who say that being tortured, you wouldn't give away any secrets. You actually give your whole life away at that point just to not be tortured. So it's kind of a torture to be stuck in a cage if you don't have anything to do. And when I met him, he just had Christmas ornaments. You know, we call them Christmas ornaments because they're not really toys. You can't really do anything with them. They just hang there, and they'll hang there forever because they're indestructible. So it took a while to get him into playing with real toys. But again, giving him a choice is the best solution. So instead of shaking his water bottle, he plays with a toy I put next to it. And again, I say, he has trained me in that too. He's trained me where to put the toy, and he's trained me that if he shakes his water bottle and I see him, I'm definitely going to give him a toy. So he has the option of playing with his water bottle or playing with a toy, and I just make the toy as exciting as I can and put it next to his water bottle, and then he stops eating the water bottle. So it's all about giving them choices. Your first reaction not should not be to shout no or try to stop them from chewing the drapes directly. You can go over and pick them up and put them somewhere else temporarily and then come up with a solution. What can they chew on that they would like just as much? It does mean you have to use your brain, but that's good because the less you use that old thing, the more it rots away, right? Cecil, mm? You're coming over? Or are you just playing with me? You're coming over? Okay. What is it you want? What do you want? You want me to pet you? Okay. See how his foot moved over to touch me? That was his cue for me to pet him. And he was given a choice where he could come up and nip at me to try to get me to pet him or touch me with his foot. If he nipped at me, I ignored him. If he touched me with his foot, then I immediately patted him. So now I am, of course, part of that loop. So when he touches me with his foot, I have to pet him. You want to touch me with your foot again? Hmm? Okay. All right. He sort of knew I was baiting him to do it, so he took his time. But nobody wants to be forced into doing something. Now, if you force an animal, like you force a dog to do something, they have in the dog world there are alphas, and so they do get used to doing what some other animal tells them to do. But in the bird world, there are none, and so if you try to force them, they're not going to be happy about it, and they're going to be less likely to train. Also, even a dog, if you're forcing them to do something, they're less likely to want to learn new things. So you have to come up with uh, positive ways to positively reinforce the behavior you want. Bob, what are you doing? Do you have to yell at every vehicle that goes by? You do, don't you? Bobadoo. Bob's a good bird. Bob. Bob's a good bird. Come on. Say Bob's a good bird. Not as long as I point a camera at you. I know. Hi, Cecil. Oh, it's hard for me to pet you when I have a camera in one hand and you're standing on the other. There you go. Now with Mango, he is learning to be a little more accepting of hands. I tricked him a little bit with when Jasmine was out here. So the trick was he comes over to see Jasmine, so I touch his foot and he steps back. Now in his cage, he would fly away from you and act terrified. But when Jasmine's there, of course, because he was interested in her, he would just step back a little bit. So I used to that situation, but yeah, one you have to be careful with because you don't want him to form a mate bond. So, so he made the choice in order to be closer to Jasmine, not to fly off. So that was a positive choice for him. And since that time, he's a little less sensitive about his feet. But to get him out here, there is only one way I can do it now, and that is to simply throw a towel over him. And then I bring him out, and then I throw a towel over him and bring him back in. So he doesn't seem to mind. Once the towel's on him, he just gives up. Not my preferred method, but it's unfortunately the method I have at the moment. So, and I try to make sure that when I approach him and I'm going to bring him out, I show him the towel. And the reason for that is I want him to associate the towel with the behavior that's happening, not me so much. So when he sees me, he doesn't immediately think towel. It's when he sees the towel, he thinks about I'm going to get toweled. Because they will associate if you come up with a towel behind you, they'll associate you with what's going on. If you come up with the towel in front of you and make it obvious what you're going to do, then they associate the towel. So what are you guys doing up there? Lucy's got to be a bit more of a beggar since Mango came around. A little more assertive. That's a good way to put it.
Sweet. Does Manda want to join the auntie meeting?
I think so. Hi, Bob. Bob at the bicycle. It's somebody on a bicycle. Oh, you're just
Ooh,
people.
cyclist. So
People.
interesting. So exciting.
Bob, what you doing? What you doing, Bob? He knows that phrase. He says that phrase. So. What you doing, Bob? What you doing? Bobbity? Yeah, obviously I've been spending time with Bob, but you guys haven't had a chance to really see him, and he's actually been doing a lot
Good to
better.
see Bob running and being excited.
Yeah, you guys haven't got to see that. I've been the one seeing it. So it's nice to have him out. And since KK doesn't want to come immediately out, it's good. And I think we're at the point now where I can bring him out with KK, so we may have him out all the time. I still can't bring Lorelai out though. And that's more biological because in order to do that, I have to take Cecil out of it. Cecil and Snowball both have to be. Bob, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah, I know. Everything is worth talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's a chatterbox. Yeah, you're a chatterbox. That's
Wait,
enough.
I think I'm not sure. I cannot hear Bob. So can anybody else hear Bob?
No, you probably can't because they have it set to automatically block out background sounds.
Ooh, let's
And they've
see.
made it terribly difficult to change. I mean, the only way you can do it is to set things up on the computer. And then, it's just, if something goes wrong, I'd have to get up and go out and mess with the computer to make it start up again. There is a way to do it, but it isn't easy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, Bob. Oh,
Actually,
Bob.
reducing background noises is ticked off. So actually, we should be able to hear background noises. At least looks
According to
like
chat,
Parrot is the culprit.
according to Chat GPT, if you are using a phone to record the video, you can't hear background sounds unless you start the actual um, video from a computer and
Mm,
on the computer tell it to reduce or to cut. You check that off. You can check off anything you want on the phone; it won't make a difference.
mm,
It's unfortunately how they have it set. They have it set like that because most people want the foreground sounds. That's all they want. But I mean, we're the exception, right? We want to hear the birds. I might try to do that. It may not work. I mean, it may work for a while and then we lose the video, but we might give that a try. It's just a little more complicated.
what
Not
a
quite
pity
as,
we cannot hear Bob, but at least we can see him.
we can interview the neighbors. They can tell you because they can hear Bob. Right, Bob? He's not saying anything now. He's being quiet. It's because no car. He's waiting for a car or a bicycle or a hobo to walk down the street or whatever. Something. A lost German who got here at the wrong time of year. Supposed to be out here in the summer so they can go to Death Valley and ride their motorcycles. Right? I can't imagine riding a motorcycle in 135 degrees. Ugh. I have two things on the movies today. I have a movie quote, but I also have a movie ending scene. So this is the movie ending scene. The scene is a woman who becomes royalty in real life, reads the magazine Bazaar. And there are only two people in the scene, but four cast. And this is at the very end of the movie.
Oh, even I know that movie.
All right. And we have a movie quote too. We'll see if see if someone gets this.
But everybody else is invited to guess.
Hmm. Lucy, do you have a guess?
She certainly has, but she will not share it with us. Oh, Calvin wants to know, does it have John Goodman in it?
No. Mm-mm.
Has anybody got the clue? Oh, it's already, oh yeah, it's down in the banner. So you can basically read. This time it's, well, that's not a movie quote, it's a description of a scene from a movie. And Don wants to know the name of the movie. Mm, I think we do not have Rosebud here today, but Falconsu and Tiki Tiki. They are usually the busiest movie guessers. Hope Rosebud will be fit soon again.
Yeah, she's been sick lately, so. And it's cold where she is right now, so. It is.
Eleanor has given a hint in chat. She doesn't know the movie, but she says it must be Grace Kelly staring.
Yep, that's true. Sea salt. Cecil. Well, at least that kind of limits the time period. It's a little harder to figure out when it's just a scene, right? What are you doing, Bob? I can tell you the lead actor, male actor in that movie.
I think no, Falcon Zoo is asking, is Cary Grant in the film?
No, there is something in this movie that Bob does not like.
Bob.
Hmm. Now, he has an aversion to this particular thing.
Interesting.
Don't you, Bob? And you don't have to be Perry Mason to figure it out. Right, Bob? I know. He looks right at the phone like, oh, he's pointing that at me again. Well, I guess I better give another hint, huh? Um,
Eleanor is guessing Telephone, the movie.
nope. It's a Hitchcock movie. I'll tell you that.
Hmm. I have no idea what Bob is connected to the movie. Have to think.
And Snowball could play the lead in the movie.
He could.
But he's asleep right now, so he probably won't
Mm,
try to do a remake. I don't think they'll ever do a remake of this one. I think this is the
no.
quintessential movie.
Um, Boink, the Bosky is guessing the birds, and
Nope.
Tiki Tiki to catch a thief.
Nope. Good guesses, though.
Um, the Simpsons actually have a parody on this movie, not entirely, but there's one or two scenes they actually. Oh, Eleanor has it. Rear Window,
That's it. Rear Window. Yep.
where Torvald is sitting in this dark room, and you only see the lightning of the cigarette for an instant.
And who played the bad guy in that movie?
Torvald,
Yeah, what's the actual actor's name?
I have no idea.
Raymond Burr. And he played Perry Mason. So he went
Mm.
from being this guy who plays a legal beagle into being a criminal that
So,
puts
what
up with
is it that Bob cannot stand?
cameras.
Oh,
And the reason I said that Snowball could be in it is because James
yeah, the
Stewart's a
voyeur.
voyeur, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I got that.
Baba. Yeah, Baba.
Excellent, Eleanor, and that while trying to tame Sunny.
And for that, you guys get, if I can find it, movie. This is for Eleanor. It's going to start up. Cool. And the other one we have, let's see if I can get it to show it, is the actual
So
quote.
everybody gets a second chance.
Yep. This is a movie. This is the movie quote. I've been the man of the house for as long as I can remember. I take good care of my mother.
Mhm.
So we have a bunch of fancy names for what we do. Because in when you're doing something that's based on science, you have to have specific definitions that are always, that everyone who is practicing whatever the discipline is will understand. So we have operant conditioning because we train an animal to be an agent that makes choices, and we help guide them to better choices is what it's all about. We're guiding them to better choices. We're not telling them what to do. And if they ran companies in this country the way they, and being in the US here, the way this is done, you would get a lot more effectiveness out of your employees. But the idea of employee and boss doesn't work for that. They tell you what to do, and so you just drone along doing what you're told. It doesn't make you effective, and it doesn't work for the birds either. So what are you guys doing down there? You're still holding a meeting. I think they're down there trying to figure out what they're going to do with Mango. Because we've got the huddle of the Moluccan Mafia back there. Jasmine is strongly against dealing with Mango, but she is definitely a single girl. She wants to stay that way. Oh, Falcon Story. I love that movie, Rear Window. It is a little creepy, but I like it. It's not my favorite James Stewart movie. That my favorite James Stewart movie is Harvey, but still, it's a good one. Bob, I forgot to bring some cinnamon sticks out for you. Yeah, he has this. If you give him cinnamon sticks, he won't play with poop. But if you forget to bring the cinnamon sticks out, then he picks up dry poop and plays with it. They didn't give him any toys. He had to find something. So,
So we have a question from Eleanor. Will Mango join the Moluccan Mafia?
uh eventually, right now he's pretty wild. I didn't record what he was doing yesterday, but because I was too busy trying to make sure nothing went wrong. But he was just completely wild. I mean, he wasn't hurting anybody. He was preening Lucy and then bouncing around and hanging upside down and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But he was also getting close to other birds and preening them, and I just had to keep my eyes on him
Mm. Yeah,
because
Mango. Well, yesterday, his whole mission was to convince Manda that he's a good boy and could be a great friend. So basically, he spent next to Mando with some breaks in between for an hour
yeah,
straight.
yeah, he did a lot of spinning.
Even Don was close to having vertigo.
Pretty close, yeah.
So
Yeah,
for
he's
now, Mango always was out with just one Moluccan. Most of the time, I think Mander. One time, Jasmine, but well, he started instantly flirting with Jasmine, but Jasmine said clearly no. So he was rather disappointed.
yeah,
No
yeah,
sugar yet.
yeah, he's mostly out with the umbrellas and one Mullican at a time, and it's going to be again salamander today. Um, I I mean, I hesitate to put him out with anybody else at this point. So because he's got a lot of energy, and he he's like KK when KK first came. KK was a little
Mm.
fireball running everywhere, chasing other birds, and he's kind of like that. He's not trying to hurt anybody, but he does get a little too enthusiastic. So that's why he's Mango the Magpie. He turns into a gremlin. I keep saying somebody fed you after midnight, didn't they?
Mm. Yeah, first time Manga was out with Manda, Manda turned into a plushie. So basically, Manda's spirit left Manda's body. But yesterday, Mango worked hard and finally was able to approach Manda pretty closely while Manda, yeah, well, roused and stayed calmer without freezing. So I
Yeah,
think they
yeah,
are pretty close to actually maybe spin together outside. Inside, they spin already together, I've heard.
yep, they do. I did discover one thing about Mango. He does not like earbud. So now the lady who had him didn't. She wears headsets, those big headphones to cover. Not really with, so not really headphones, but they're just these, to silence the environment around you. I can't use those. Mander would tear my head off if I wore those things. Um, so. I use earbuds. Well, apparently he doesn't like them, and I know kind of. That beginning of the movie Jaws, where a lady doesn't know what's happening to her in the water. I was walking in here and I was bringing in a bird, and it felt like I got hit by a shark. He was going after my earbud. Um, didn't hurt me much, just a little bit. He was trying to get it out of my ear, so now when I come in, I have to look him in the eyes so he knows I'm watching him. Kind of like you don't turn your tail to Mander or he'll bite your rear. If you turn your head away from Mango and you have earbuds in, he's going to try to take them out of your ear. So, and it feels like that kind of thing happens, it does kind of feel like that movie Jaws because you don't really know. You think you caught yourself on something when the rope caught your ear or something, and it's actually a bird who's got your ear. So he's not aggressive. He just doesn't like earbuds.
Have you seen Eleanor's comment, Dawn? She says,
No.
haha, so Mando doesn't like headphones and Mango doesn't like earbuds. What a conundrum.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, with Mander, there's no way to get around it. If you have big set of headphones on your head, he's going to attack. Um, with Mango, as long as you're looking at him, he'll kind of stare you down, but he won't come your way and try to attack you if you're looking straight at him. I think he's afraid you might touch his feet, but we'll know because once he's no longer sensitive about his feet, if he goes for my ears, then we'll know. Um, because I know Mander's not the least bit afraid of me hurting him. So if I put if I put those on, and I do have some of those, but I don't wear them at a time where Mander's out. That's not going to work. So, and it's pretty rare. Most of the time, I just wear earbuds because they actually block sound better. Right, Bob? Bob. So, as a basic summary, you want to learn to offer the bird a choice between different things that will replace whatever you don't want them to do, or in general, just offer them choices where they can choose between things that are positive and then reward them for making those choices. Even if you were offering them three equal things that would be good in their environment, if whenever they make a choice, you want to reward it so that they get used to the idea that choices provide rewards. I know it's kind of antithetical to what we face. We face if you don't do what you're told, you're not going to get your paycheck, and if you don't pay your bills, they're gonna, somebody's gonna take you to court. I mean, you were faced with all this all the time, and believe me, that kind of feeling does not work for the birds either. If they're always worried about what you're going to do, so you want to give them the feeling that they have choice and that the choices are going to be positive. And then if you do that, you end up with birds hanging around like this. If you don't do that, you can end up with birds doing something quite different. Are you going to do your runaround? Jasmine, you going to do the runaround? The Jasmine does the runaround. What's up, Jazz? What's up, Jazz? Hi, Jazz. Hi, baby. What's you doing? Bob, you be nice to Jazz. Come here, girl. Come. No, we're not gonna do the Bob thing. Come here. Come on, step up. Step up. Yeah, I know it's not easy to get you to step up. You make your own decisions. You don't want me picking you up. I know, but you like to be petted, so. So no one's figured out that movie yet, huh?
Well, nobody did a guess so far. Wait, have I? No, I'm not muted. Okay, well, my first thought when it was Take Care of My Mother was Psycho, as always.
Yep, yep. That's what I intended to do, was to draw that idea. It's not Psycho, but
Hmm,
well, I can see, what can I give as a clue.
let's
Well,
see.
um, you can definitely um, marvel at the acting in this movie, and the movie, the lead actor in this movie did win Best Actor
For that movie.
for that movie. I actually swore that if he didn't get Best Actor for that movie, I would never listen to the Academy Awards again. Not like I pay that much attention to them, but if he didn't, I said he, so now yeah, if he didn't get it, I wasn't going to ever listen to them again. So
Tiki Tiki is asking for more hints.
another hint. Hmm. There's a lot of clowning around in the movie.
Uh,
What? See, so
is it a black and white movie?
no. Mm-mm. What? What? Lucy, what?
Tiki is asking if it is the Joker.
It's Joker. Yeah, it is Joker.
Excellent, Tiki! Woo! I
Well done.
would have never guessed that.
Yep. And I know it's supposed to be a Marvel comic movie, but it's really not. I mean, yeah, that there's a loose story. Well, it kind of fits the story, but there's nothing sort of, it's a psychological drama, okay? And there's no superpowers or anything like that. It's just a psychological drama. So
Have I seen Just Sugar approaching?
Sugar was just having a little argument. Yeah, she came up because she was having an argument with the voyeur of our group.
Hmm.
He was getting
Well,
too close.
he,
So
the voyeur has now new standards. I mean, there's a pink bird who actually dared to preen him.
yep, he doesn't even know what to think of that. So
No, he was completely stunned and was like, "Oh, what was that, or what is that?" But Mango, he wants to have contact with other birds. What is interesting is that Cecil is a little bit shy about him because usually Cecil is the first to get over and say hi, but Cecil just sat on Don and was basically watching the whole time.
Mander, could you put your face a little closer to me? Could you, please? Sugar comes over, so Mander comes over and shoves his beak in my face, like you need to do me too. I haven't grown a third arm yet. Isn't that funny? And I still have to pet this one that I put in my lap.
So many needy Moluccans. Now we
Yeah.
should film that and show it to Mango. Mr. I do not want to be touched yet.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Joker, you should. Um, there aren't many good movies to come out with excellent acting, but everybody who acts in that movie is excellent. Um, and the storyline makes sense. I mean, there's good character development. Even Jasmine thinks so, don't you, Jazz? You've seen that movie, haven't you, Jazz? Yeah.
First rule in Moluccan Club, you must be needy.
I'm not interested in any of the Marvel movies. None of them mean anything to me, except it is technically a Marvel movie, but it's not. I mean, the director took it as a psychological drama, and that's the difference. It's not. I'm not interested in any of the other ones. I would not watch them. But that one, I read about it. I once I understood what they were going to do with it, or what they had done with it. I had to see it. So.
Yawn. Oh, Jazzy.
It's a Jazzy Jazzbird. And now Bob is preening
Mander,
Mander.
excellent.
You have to watch him when he preens because sometimes he'll start putting his foot up when he's done. So you have to keep an eye on him. But he's a good preener, though. It's just that when he's done, he doesn't quite know how to finish. So because usually when a bird finishes preening, the other bird will try to engage them again. Well, Bob doesn't do that. He gets upset if they want more. So it's kind of like the Charles Dickens story, right? You want more? More gruel? I'm sorry. How dare no one ever? No, how dare you? No one ever asks for more. And he also doesn't know where to preen. You preen the head, Bob. Yeah, I know, Bob. You're a good boy, Bob. Bob is a good bird. Bob is a good boy. Unfortunately, I'm now rewarding him for something he's not doing, so he doesn't understand. Should have said that to him when he was preening Mander. That right now he thinks I'm praising him for leaving. Bob, 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 Bob. See, there's an example of a mistake. He walks away and I praise him. So he thinks now I'm praising him for leaving when actually you know, that's what I'm doing because how else could he interpret that behavior? Jasmine, you need a little preening here. Well, thanks guys for being here on this sunny Monday in Nevada. And we will see you. Thank you, Amy, for moderating. Thanks, Eleanor, for hanging out and moderating too. And You want to say goodbye, Mander? Mander! We will see you all, guys, everybody, I hope, on Wednesday.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.